All right, welcome to our team call for May 20th. Before I dig into our topic, does anyone have any recognition or shout outs they want to do?
Okay, so Allie, I can't see you, but I'm pretty sure because I see the name down below. I'm assuming it's you. But Allie is a coach on my team, and she is going to be hitting Emerald tomorrow, and she already is pushing hard as she sends me millions of messages to keep working towards the next step of Diamond, and hopefully going to have a couple more peeps joining her. But this is her first call with us, and I get to shout her out tomorrow in the team.
Yay! Way to go!
Yay!
Anybody else?
You know what? I'm going to shout out my girl, Michaela, who I see is present here tonight, because she's back and wants to help people through this. And I'm really excited about that for her. And she dove into 2B mindset, like soaking wet, and she is rocking it out for herself personally. So it all starts with your own personal journey, and that's awesome.
Yay, and welcome back. I want to give a shout out to Jenna, because Jenna is a brand new coach who joined our Meet the Team at some point last month, and she has been present on every team call. She's coachable, she's hungry to learn, she's already began helping people, so she is just diving right in.
Kelly Riley, clicking away on your keyboard. Mute.
Oh my God.
I was like, what is that sound? And then I see Kelly's like,
Multitasking.
That's right.
Does anybody else have shout outs or recognition? Anything else we missed? Anything that you didn't get to shout out last week that you're celebrating? Because I know we had some new emeralds pop, and I don't know if they got celebrated or not.
I just want to shout out everyone who is on this call right now, because it's not freaking easy right now to like keep showing up for your team, your business, all of these things, and just getting on the call when you probably have a million other things on your to-do list. So kudos to you guys for being here.
Yeah. Awesome. Showing up. All right, so we only really, like 2 announcements that I want to just mention, but I think everybody already knows, is that Mixberry Energize launched this past week. So that is live. If you want to try it, you want to share about it with your challengers, post about it in your challenge groups, but Mixberry Energize is here. And challenge packs are on sale, and challenge packs and completion packs through the end of this month. So make sure that at the end of this month, we are working hard on doing follow-ups, connecting with people that we've chatted with in the past, connecting with new people. This is a great opportunity, especially for people that might be on a budget right now during this time, to really have essentially everything they need to get started to be successful for the year. So making sure that we're taking advantage of this sale as it's going on. And I wanted to throw this out there, and I'm curious by a show of hands who would be interested if I did this. But I was thinking about opening our flash sale page for like a 1-day extension, like the second to last day or the last day of the month, and just popping in a couple days beforehand and doing a countdown every day and saying like, we're opening our flash sale for one more day at the end of the month, because sometimes that just having the energy of having people in that group actually helps them commit, because they're, it's exciting to see other people committing with you versus when you're just kind of a lone island trying to make that decision on your own. So if everyone is interested in doing that, we can open that flash sale for one more day, not like rescheduling it, but just popping it back open. Okay, cool. And then the other thing is that we are scheduled to run a sneak peek event Sunday night, the 24th, which is this coming Sunday. That's what we have on the schedule. If everyone's ready to rock and rally for that, I have a couple days to share about it and a couple days to invite to it. So wanted to throw that out there too.
I
Uh,
was just gonna say what Mary
Yeah.
Page said. Memorial Day weekend, I feel like Sunday people are like engaged in Sunday night holiday festivities.
yeah. So that was probably not the best of planning. So do we want to move it to Tuesday night? Will that work for everybody? Do Tuesday night instead? And then that gives us a week to invite to it because you
Or
guys
team call night. What do you guys think? I know we're trying to limit our
we're limiting our
um,
nights.
responsibilities to get on calls every
Yeah.
night. But
Vote in the comments if you want to do it Tuesday night or Wednesday for in lieu of a team call night. Vote in the comments and we'll figure that out. No, Mary Page, we don't yet, but we were planning on getting a guest speaker. So it can be Wednesday. Okay, cool. We'll do it on team call night then. Unanimous vote. So now our Meet the Team event is Wednesday night of next week. So now we have a week. Okay, so I'm really excited because first of all, you guys know me and I am not fancy by any means. And I actually made a presentation for the call tonight. And second of all, I really wanted to talk about this topic of belief because it's been kind of coming up in some of the conversations that I've had with some of you. I know that I had a conversation with Maggie the other day about this. I have conversations with Ashley about it all the time. Rachel and I were chatting the other day. So there's a lot of different things going on in terms of belief. And I feel like if we don't take a hard look at those sometimes that we can kind of be trying to work around it and not really addressing what it actually is to be able to help ourselves move it out the way so that we can carry on the way that we really want to. So I'm going to go through with you guys. Let me screen share. And this is going to be kind of interactive. I'm going to ask some questions along the way. So it's going to be helpful if you have a notebook and you kind of jot these down as we go. And if you feel open and willing to share, I would love if, hold on, I got to see if I can hit the present button. I would love if you guys would actually share in the comments as I go along. So I have to try and figure out how to move my Zoom to see this. All right. So shifting your beliefs to be able to shift your business. We talk a lot about mindset and personal development and why that's important. But I think that not all of the time are we actually getting to the root of beliefs that we have and how they are affecting our businesses. So I'm going to go through a couple different types of beliefs, and I'm going to kind of ask you to analyze where you're at in that specific belief. And then we're going to kind of do a couple exercises that can help you kind of pinpoint where you might be having limiting beliefs or where you can strengthen certain beliefs or where you feel really rock solid in your beliefs or where you can shift beliefs that are going to really help you shift your business. And I wanted to ask you guys before we get started, if you're willing to share in the comments, what is a belief that you had before you joined Beachbody that you have changed since joining? And this could be like, I have 50 pounds to lose. I'm never consistent. I always fall off diets, yet you've maintained being consistent and you've proved that belief wrong. Or something like for me where I had this belief that all single moms were always going to be broke and struggling. And I've proved that belief wrong, right? So what is a belief that you can share that that you've changed since you joined coaching? And unfortunately, I don't think I can Annalisa, can I see comments when I have this open?
Yeah, you should be able to still open your chat box.
It's so weird.
Did you do it as a screen share or a?
Probably not.
Okay, so we have.
If you want to shout it out, that'd be awesome.
I don't look like a coach. Stop me if you want me to. I won't be able to find anybody. I never thought I'd be an MLM lover. I'm a yo-yo dieter. My story is too heavy for people. I can't do high impact exercise. I don't have time to coach. I don't have any extra time. This won't work. Doctors don't do network marketing. It's too expensive. Nobody will ever want to join me. Why would anyone want to work with me? I don't need Shaco. I'm not at my goal weight, and MLM is a pyramid scheme.
I love these. These are so good. I wanted to prompt you guys with this because I feel like sometimes we have those really, really tough limiting beliefs where it's like we almost have the belief that we cannot change that belief, or we're just not really aware of it. And I think it's really cool to kind of prove to yourself that you have had certain limiting beliefs and that you have overcome those. And we absolutely do have the ability to do that with things that are standing in our way at this very moment in our businesses. But they might take a little more work or a little more deep digging than ones that we have overcome in the past. Because I feel like for every level that you want to progress, or every step that you want to take, or if you're going to do things that are really outside your comfort zone, sometimes we come up against beliefs that we've had since we were kids or since a certain experience in our lives, and they're a little more emotional to work through. But the harder it feels to work through it, the more powerful it's going to be of a shift in your business and your life. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, so I wanted to just, and I'm sure everybody knows what this is, but like what a belief actually is before we dive into them. So a belief is an acceptance that a statement is true, which the danger with beliefs is that a lot of the times beliefs we have, they're not facts. They're just a story that we've chosen to believe, right? Or confidence in something or someone. So on the flip side of negative or limiting beliefs, we have the positive beliefs, like I can do this, I can be consistent, I can learn to show up for my fitness journey, I can consistently post on social media every day, I can run challenge groups every single month. Those are beliefs that you have come to know by taking action, right? So I want you to remember that we can shift, change, release, or strengthen beliefs. Release is going to be a big one. All right. So now let's talk about, we're going to go through, this is the 4 I said, your beliefs about yourself, your beliefs about your abilities, which kind of is encompassed in yourself, but I wanted to do a little more of a deep dive on that. In our products and our programs, and in our business and our company. All right, so get your pen and your paper, and I want to ask you guys, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you in yourself overall? Like in your relationships, in your business, in your social situations, as a parent? Because I can tell you that when I came into coaching, my confidence level was probably at like a 1. It was literally like next to nothing. And it is far improved, but I think there's always room for growth, at least in my own experience. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you overall in yourself? On a scale of 1 to 10, what is your belief that you can reach goals and have success? Like 10 being a hell yeah, I'm gonna eventually, if I keep consistently showing up, will always reach every single goal that I hit for myself. Or 1 being a, I don't think I can achieve any of that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just need to ask. Is this number we're giving, is this like on average?
Yes, just on average. But it could be specific to your situation right now too.
Of all the things and of all the moments in life?
Yes.
Average. Okay. All right. This is a good exercise. Thank you.
All right, the next one, and I feel like this is one that I feel like one of those things that can be like a blind belief that we have that we don't see. It's like a blind spot when you're driving and like you don't actually see this one, might be something that can be holding us back, but it's something that I have had to work on and I continue to have to work on, and that is worthiness. It's, do I feel worthy and deserving of the health, success, income, love, and lifestyle that I desire? And that might be different for every single one of those categories, because it is for me. And I also applaud you guys for answering these questions, because I know they're not easy. And now here's the fun part. I actually did this on a call that I was on a couple weeks ago in another group. And the exercise was to help us release certain beliefs that we know we have, that we no longer want to entertain. So can you guys off the top of your head think of a belief that has been limiting you in your business right now? And it might be, I don't have the time, it's crazy with kids home, I've failed too many times in the past that I can't be successful the way I want to be. But can you think of a limiting belief that's specifically limited you in showing up in your business? Can you think of that off the top of your head right now? And if you want to share it, feel free to. Good one. I found the chat, by the way. Impossible to focus in small pockets. Life is insane and just trying to keep up. I can't find anyone like me that wants to run. I haven't seen the growth I want to up to this point, so why now? I've totally had that one, Annalisa. I can't figure out why my business feels stuck. Trying to find runners to help me where I want to be. I feel like every day, as soon as the day starts, I'm already behind. I'm not able to keep up with every single person I've talked to about it. Okay. I must be doing something wrong. No time or energy right now. I get frustrated when I don't have the time I used to spend on my business, and then I don't use it like I could in small pockets. Okay. So I feel like some of these are just like general beliefs, but some of these are really kind of specific to this point in time in this situation. And I feel like just in general in business, it's so important for us to be able to pivot. And this is something that's been really, really hard for me personally to learn in my own business the last 2 years, going through so much health-wise, was how to let what is my best right now be good enough, even if it's not even close to what my best typically would be. Does that make sense? Like changing your standard and changing your pace and changing what bar you set for yourself right now in this time being versus trying to hold yourself to the same standard you typically do when life is normal and shit's chaos right now. So here's the fun exercise. I actually really love doing this. I think it's really cathartic to write these things down and let them go and ask for what you want to call in instead. So for example, I am no longer willing to believe that I do not have enough time to build my business to the level of success that I want. I am calling in a focus in my business so that I can be more productive in the hours that I do work. Or you could say something like, I am no longer willing to believe that I am not worthy and deserving of the success I want. I am calling in the courage and confidence to lean into building my business the way that I know I truly desire it to be. And it's totally awesome if you have a bunch of these, so you can do more of this after the call too. But I just wanted to prompt you with that lingo. And I put the quote here: people will change when the pain of staying the same is worse than the pain it takes to change. Because I think that it has a lot of truth to it, and it stings and it sucks to read that, but sometimes we get comfortable in our discomfort. We get comfortable with our limiting beliefs. We get comfortable in falling short of the goals that we want to actually see every single month. We get comfortable not holding ourselves to a higher standard of being more consistent. We get comfortable with seeing okay results. Or here's a big one, and this has been a big one for me. I got comfortable with it being good enough. Like, this is good enough. I've built a business that's good enough, or what I've achieved is good enough. But good enough is not the life that I actually want, right? Good enough is not the business that I want to build. I don't want good enough in my health. I don't want good enough in my relationships. I don't want to be just a good enough mom or just a good enough leader. I want to be great at all of these things. And when I had that like aha moment that I was like, wow, I got comfortable because I was settling for good enough. It was like this like light bulb moment of maybe it's not that it's a crazy limiting belief. Maybe it's just you've got comfortable. We've gotten comfortable with good enough. I'm curious if anybody else can relate to that. Comfortable with the uncomfortable being good enough. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. All right. So this, obviously, these two tie together, but I wanted to really talk about this specifically because I feel like our self-beliefs affect a lot of the beliefs in our abilities in our businesses, right? So I wanted to ask you guys this question, and right off the top of your head, just comment in the chat. If your ideal customer, or more so your ideal coach, like the dream team coach that you've been looking for, that is going to come in and run out of the gates and be fired up and want to build a big business with you, came to you tomorrow and said, hey, Katie, hey, Whitney, hey, Danielle, I'm ready to go all in. Tell me how to build a business that's successful. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident do you feel in your ability to lead them? And I ask you this because I've hit places in my business where I so desperately wanted to find people to bring into my business, but I did not have the confidence that I could mentor them the way that I wanted to. I love it, Ashley. 5, 1, 4, 0. Okay, so, and I hope that you guys don't feel like because I'm obviously in the same boat. Like, this is all shit that I ask myself too, or I would not be delivering this on a call tonight. Or it's things that I've had to ask myself that I didn't like the answers to, because I feel like for us to truly be able to grow and make progress, we have to be honest with ourselves, and we have to be able to acknowledge and see these things, right? So there have been different points in my business where I didn't feel confident bringing people on because I haven't had a system to bring them in with, or a training to put them into, or I didn't have a good new coach welcome email, or I wasn't in a confident headspace about my belief in my business, because it was a period of time where I felt like I was failing, and I was like, well, shit, I'm failing. I suck on social media right now. I'm barely skating by to hit Success Club. How am I going to teach someone else to build this business if that's how I feel, right? And so a couple months ago, coming off this like awful 2-year span of health issues, and you guys know I was skating by, like I was hitting Success Club and I was showing up and doing team calls, but I was doing the bare minimum compared to what I know I am capable of and what I have done in the past. And that really affected my belief in my abilities as a leader. And so I went back to doing what helped me build my confidence in myself in the first place. And that was committing to the vital behaviors and the basics, like brushing my teeth and like brushing my hair. Does that mean they get done every single day of the week and I'm perfect all month long? No, but I know when I go to bed at night, I am trying, like I'm trying my best and I'm making progress. And I feel like that's the best feeling you can have, is like I'm showing up and I'm moving the needle forward in some type of way, because that helps us build our self-confidence. It helps us build our belief in ourselves. And it helps us believe that if we're able to show up and move past the excuses and make those pockets of time, that we feel 10 times more confident that if a coach came to us with the same struggle, that we can tell them how to work through it, right? Like that's how we develop more belief and confidence in ourselves and our ability to lead people is by leading ourselves first. So that was my big gut check, was I don't feel like I can lead people right now. So what I really need to do is lead myself first again. And sometimes we forget that. Okay, so what is your belief that you can become consistent? And this could be in any area. It could be morning routines. It could be getting morning workouts in. It could be doing power hours. It could be do networking. It could be inviting to meet the team events. What is your belief that you can change your mindset and develop skills? And I think this is one of the most important, because we don't need to know everything. We don't ever have it all figured out. But do we believe that when we get ourselves caught in these places of being stuck or stagnant or feeling like shit's good enough, that we have the confidence we can work to change our mindset and develop our skills differently to change that belief? Do you believe that you can improve your weaknesses and play on your strengths? And I think this one's important, because a lot of times, like, my go-to has always been, I'm not organized. I'm not super organized. Being organized is a weakness of mine, right? But I've had to learn to get organized in simple ways. It might not look like a pretty PDF and an Excel spreadsheet and fancy team calls and any of that kind of fluffy stuff, but I'm organized in a way that works for me in my business. And I had to let go of that unrealistic standard that I could be as organized as someone else. I had to be that organized to be successful, right? So do you believe that you can improve your weaknesses and find a way that you can improve those to make it work for you, versus it always being an excuse of why you can't? Like, I'm just not organized, or I'm just not consistent with this, or whatever it is. When you fail or you miss a goal, and when you hear a no or an objection, what is the belief you have? What's the belief that comes up for you? And I specifically wanted to address this one, especially for newer coaches, because I feel like we often attach too much of our self-worth to the answer or non-answer that someone is giving us, right? It's like, well, it's like that quote that Josh Coates says all the time, where he says, your limiting beliefs are always looking for a story to justify them, or whatever he says. Like, your limiting beliefs are always looking for a story for you to justify them with. So, for example, if you go out and you invite 5 people, and your limiting belief is, I can't find coaches to join my team, and 4 of those people don't respond to you right away, right? The 5th one says, no, I'm not really interested right now, thanks. The 3 of them don't respond to you, and the other one says, no, I'm not really into network marketing. How does that make you feel? Does it like confirm your limiting belief of like, well, I suck at this, I'm never going to find coaches, I'm never going to find people that want to join my team? Or do you keep thinking, okay, I'm 5 no's closer to finding someone who's going to say yes to me, and someone who actually sees my value, likes my vibe, has, the open heart and the open mind to learn about this opportunity I'm going to share with them, and I am that much closer to a yes, right? Like, that's how we have to shift our mindset about no's, objections, and failures too. Failures is a big one, like missing a goal. It sucks to miss a goal over and over. And it's either an opportunity for us to look deeper at what the action plan was for us to get there, right? Did we actually have a game plan of action and show up for it? Or did we move the needle a little bit closer towards the goal we have, but we just fell short of it, but we still made progress, and that's something to celebrate. It's not just the end goal that we need to be hyped up and excited about, right? So looking at failure as a growth opportunity. What's your belief when you achieve a goal? When you achieve a goal, do you think, hell yeah, I got this? Like, I can do this? It puts a little bit of that fire in your bones, right? Or on the flip side of that, do you say, it was no big deal, like, I just kind of got lucky, I had a good streak this month, I'm not sure if I could do that again? Like, what is your beliefs around achieving goals? When you feel stuck, unmotivated, stagnant, uninspired, or like things are good enough, right? What are you choosing to believe? And I ask this one because in our business and in our lives, we are going to hit roadblocks. We're going to have challenges. We're going to have shit that happens, unexpected life, or just life, stress, exhaustion, kids, crazy, COVID, whatever, right? Do you have the belief that no matter what, you can figure it out? That you can learn, you can shift, you can pivot, we can adjust our attitudes, we can take a couple days off because we're freaking overwhelmed and we need a break and we need to shut out the world and shut down social media and pour into ourselves so that we can come back with the intention to figure out a plan. And I wrote at the bottom, along with that one, commit to being a forever learner and failing forward. Remember that comparison is toxic and only strengthens your limiting beliefs. And that's, I feel like comparison is big in life, but it's big in this business too. Like there are coaches right now that are absolutely crushing it. And sometimes we further confirm our limiting beliefs if we're not careful by looking at people that are doing what we want to be doing. But the thing is, from the outside looking in, you don't know what people's lives look like behind the scenes. You don't know, maybe you think, oh, well, they have so much more time than I do, or it's just easier for them because they've been doing it longer, or whatever it is story that we tell ourselves. It's not helping us with that. So I would suggest if you feel like you have a lot of that, for example, if you get on Instagram and you scroll around and by 15 minutes later, you feel like the confidence got sucked out of you, then make that something you commit not to do for a while you strengthen your beliefs that you're working on. All right. We strengthen and build our belief through commitment and personal experience. And this one is about the belief in the products and the programs. I just want to see how I'm doing on time. I feel like this is going to be one of the ones that is pretty easy for most of us. But I feel like there's sometimes a gap between the beliefs that we have, like the belief that we have where we're like, hell yeah, I love Shakeology, I drink it every day. I've been drinking it for 6.5 years. I would never miss it. It's changed the game for my health. Versus the belief that we go into conversations with, right? Like sometimes the belief that we have in our own heads is stronger than the belief we show up with in conversations. So do you feel confident that our programs and products can change someone's life if they are willing to do the work? I feel like you wouldn't be here if you didn't, right? What is your story, testimonial, and belief with the following things? So Shakeology, the performance line, Beachbody On Demand, nutrition plans, other products like Beach Bars, 3-Day Refresh, Ultimate Reset. Can you confidently speak and share to your belief in these specific things, right? Like if I were to say, hey, Whitney, tell me your story about Shakeology right now. Like, could you rattle off the 10 reasons why you drink it and why it's been so powerful for you? Right. Because I feel like this is really important for when we go into conversations, especially when we get objections or we have people that are like, I'm not paying that much for a shake. And you're like, and then it pings on one of those little self-limiting beliefs we have deep down inside, right? And we kind of like cave instead of being like, I'm going to show up with my full belief in myself, in my ability to help this person, in my ability to eloquently share my belief in this product, what it's done for my life, and what it could potentially do for them and their health, right? I'm going to check the comments because I feel like I'm behind. So my only suggestion, releasing your throat chakra, Ray. Yes. My only suggestion with this one, and I know most of you on here have been around a while, but is if you are newer or you are new and you have not experienced something like using collagen or beach bars or 3-day refresh. That my goal when I was a newer coach, I only had an experience with T25 because back in the day, we didn't get Beachbody on demand. We were dinosaurs. We had to buy each CD by itself as it came out, right? So every single new program that came out, I bought it. Like, it was ridiculous. We used to spend $50 to $70 like for each new CD, right? But I wanted to try every single program that came out because I wanted to be able to speak to it from experience, even if I didn't want to do it. Like, I was like, size, hell no. I don't want to dance. Not my thing. But I'm going to get it just so I can try a couple workouts of it. So if I have somebody that comes to me and says, hey, I want to lose 100 pounds. I have really awful knees. I have lower back pain. I can say, maybe this program with modifications would be good for you, right? Like, we develop that belief in all of the different options for people that are going to be different and speak more confidently about them when we experience them for ourselves. So if there are products or programs that you've never tried or never done, I would say go try one workout. You don't have to commit and do the whole program if you don't want to, but go try one workout from our yoga retreat. Go try one country workout, and please record it because I want to laugh with you. Go do a 3-day refresh because it's a kick-ass way to reboot your body and get great results to share in 3 days, right? But try these different things so that you feel the more you try them, the more you experience them, the more they change your life and your health and your energy and all that stuff, the more confidently we're going to be able to speak about them. Okay, I'm just reading country. Yeah, Mary Page, I remember all your country videos. Not my jam. UV too. Yes, Kelly. Okay. All right, your belief in coaching. So this one I feel like is so important, not just for the belief that we can be successful as coaches, but I feel like because if you're going to confidently invite people to the coaching opportunity, you have to have like untouchable belief that this opportunity can change someone's life. And if you are someone that is not earning a ton of income yet, you have not had any rank advancements yet, look to the coaches on our team. There are plenty of coaches on this call alone in our upline teams that you are surrounded by that have built very successful businesses. A lot of coaches while working full-time jobs, right? There is success all around us, and reminding ourselves that anything someone else has done or achieved is proof that it is possible. So we can look to those people and say, hell yeah, like I want to have that same level of belief level that I take the actions like they did to get there. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your belief about our company, vision, integrity, and mission? Like if somebody were to be like, what do you think about Beachbody? Like, I know me, I'd go on like a 20-minute rant about the company, the mission, the CEO, the integrity, the way products are made, how much I love the community, the support, the tools, like to the point where you would be confident talking to someone at the grocery store checkout line that says like, hey, you've got really toned biceps. Like, what do you do? And you're like, well, let me tell you, right? Or if somebody says like, you know, how are you earning extra side income? Like, do you feel like you can confidently speak to how powerful of an opportunity coaching is, what our vision and our mission is? What is your belief in your team? This is important. Belief that you come from a really kick-ass team that has people that are successful, that can guide you along the way, that are showing up in the trenches, doing the work with you, right? I personally think truly have one of the biggest hearted teams and one of the most united like sisterhoods. Like you can't find friendships and connections like you do on our team, right? So your belief in our team, because you're welcoming people into our team when you invite them to coaching. And if you love our team, right, like why wouldn't they too? And the potential success available with this opportunity. And this is kind of what I said at the beginning of seeing the success around you, but like truly thinking and this comes to really like setting and breaking down goals, but like if your goal is to pay off a certain amount of debt, like have you broken down what you ideally would like to be earning monthly to comfortably be paying off that debt, and breaking down how we can start to earn that in our businesses, whether it is hitting Success Club 10 every single month, getting fast start bonuses, bringing 3 coaches onto your team every single month and helping them learn how to hit Success Club, like breaking it down into actual tangible things that in your brain, it is no longer just that would be nice. This is a dream for me. That would be so awesome if that could happen. But like, this is actually possible with this opportunity. And these are the steps that I can take to get there. Hold on, I'm going to check the comments. I don't know where I went. Yes. All right. Okay. I'm going to do another fun question because I feel like this is a really good one. And this, I think, depends too, totally, like this can be an ever-changing thing. Because I know when I am on a low or a lull in my personal life where I am struggling, that I have a harder time reaching out to people. I think that's the majority of us, right? And that's why sometimes it's really important to kind of turn inwards and work on yourself and get yourself in a good routine, so that you can come into your business feeling mentally stronger. But if I asked you right now to go invite 20 people, what belief comes up for you? If I said, go sit down right after this call and go invite 20 people, what's your first thought? Is your first thought like, hell yeah, I'm fired up. I want to go invite people to join me for this. We've got a sale going right now. I've got a great May group running. I'm fired up. We have a sneak peek next week. Let's do it. Or is it something else? That's going to take a long time. I'm going to challenge you, Maggie, that could potentially be a limiting belief. Because that's one I say too. I'm always like, I need this much amount of time to do these things, when in reality, when I sit down and I bang it out, it happens. It can be done very quickly. I don't know 20 people who are into fitness and wellness, and I don't want to push things on people. Okay, so pushing things on people is definitely something we all have to work through, because it's not pushing on people. It's sharing what's changing your life with people. And Allie, I would say if you've never done the memory jogger exercise, that would be great. Like writing down a list of 100 to 200 people that you want to connect with, because it's not about waiting to find people who are into health and wellness. A lot of the people that we're helping are not into health and wellness. They need solutions. They need easy, real life solutions for fitness and wellness. So it's about offering them that opportunity. I have a list of names, but haven't invited those people yet. And so my question to you would be, why? What's the belief behind that? Why? The belief that comes up is, I don't have 20 people to ask. Okay. That's a valid one. And that's comes down to the consistency in networking, because that's one I've been having to work on a lot, is like, if I feel like I'm running out of people to invite and talk to, it means I'm not networking enough. It's like that Alexis Doss call we had where she was like, if you focus so much on the networking, you're never going to run out of people to invite. I just need to build my network. So then plugging in 10 to 15 minutes in your schedule, 5 days a week to work on doing that. If you missed my video on the Instagram networking, it can be done really, really quickly. And really effectively. That's what's working for me, and it doesn't take a ton of time. Would you tell your friend, yes, about a product from Target? Just like that. Time to focus on conversations. All my friends that are into health and wellness are already coaches. Okay, and that's unfortunate, and that sucks, right? But But there are so many people out there, and the beauty is we work on social media, so you start sending friend requests, you start connecting with new people. Just because you have a handful of friends that are already doing it does not mean there's not hundreds of people out there that are waiting to hear your story and waiting for your invite. Okay, so I specifically asked that question because I was hoping somebody was going to say like, oh shit, that's scary, right? Because like, I don't want to get rejected. I was hoping that someone would say, I don't want to hear rejection. Because this is what I really wanted to ask is, let's say you are midway through sending your 10 invites, right? Like you've got 7 done. You've got 7 invites sent out. You're feeling fired up. You're excited. You're like, I'm going to go invite everybody. I'm going to talk about this sale we've got going on this month. I'm truly going to change someone's life. I'm going to find someone who needs my help today, right? And then you get a message back that says, not interested. I don't do shakes. I don't believe in network marketing. Don't message me anymore. Or you get a message that's like, no, not right now. I already go to the gym. My question is, can you keep going through the next 13 of those invites of the 20 that you committed to do with the same level of enthusiasm that you started them with? Like totally detaching from the outcome of what people are going to say to me, or they're going to reject me, or I'm not good enough. I should stop inviting right now because all these people already are saying no to me. Or do you keep showing up with that same level of excitement of, I'm going to find somebody who wants to change their life. Every time I get a no, I'm closer to a yes. Every time I get rejected just means that they don't see my value. I'm going to find someone who does, right? Oops. I don't know why sometimes I can see the chat. Sometimes I cannot. Yeah, it's a mindset check. Avery, that's perfect. That's exactly what I do as well. Do not look at the responses until you finish all. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So now, Amanda, not looking at responses until you finish your invites. That's exactly what I would suggest, because I feel like for you to have that same level of fire and excitement from 1 to 20 is to not be attached to the outcome. And yes, it always stings when somebody rejects you or they say something nasty. Like that never feels good. But at the same time, it doesn't have to deter us from continuing to go out with that same level of excitement and keep inviting, right? And knowing that eventually we are going to find our people. If someone you invite ignores you, says, no, not now, we just went over this. What is the belief that comes up for you? And if you invite someone and they say yes, what is your belief? Is it like, hell yeah, I'm pumped to mentor this person. I can't wait to lead them through this change. Or is it like, can I really help this person the way I want to? What is that belief that comes up for you? Listen, Declan. And what is your belief about follow-ups? And I say this one because I hear a lot of the times I don't want to be annoying. I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to bother people. I feel like I'm annoying someone. I've written them 3 times and they haven't responded to me, so they probably just think I'm crazy at this point. Like, there's all kinds of stuff that comes up when we think about doing follow-ups, right? Follow-ups to me are one of the biggest factors in actually building a successful business. I call it being passionately persistent. You probably have heard me say that before. But the way that I look at it, I've had so many people that I have followed up with months and months in a row that don't answer, don't respond, no, not right now, don't have the money this month, this isn't for me. You know, they hop in a flash sale, they never respond. They like something about a challenge group, they don't respond again when I reach out. And I continue to follow up with people. Why? Because I actually care. And I actually believe that if I show up enough times, they're going to have that trust in me. They're going to allow me to kind of help them break down the walls, and they're going to end up signing up. And the case in point, the mama who signed up with me this morning, I have been talking to her for almost 3 years. She has 100 pounds to lose. We've talked about her fitness, her nutrition a million times. We've talked about coaching a million times. It has never been the right time for her. She's been on the fence many times, but she's never hopped in. And I added her to the flash sale. She never responded. And then I reached out again and I followed up, and she finally said, okay, I'm ready. It's time. And had I given up on her 2 years ago, or when she didn't respond to me about the flash sale 2 weeks ago, even, that never would have happened, right? I wouldn't be having the opportunity to help her go lose 100 pounds and change her life. So instead of looking at follow-ups as being pushy and salesy, think about doing them in the most kind, caring, and compassionate way. And a lot of times I say something like, hey, I don't know if you saw my last message. Hey, I don't know if you're like me and you see messages and you forget to respond. Hey, I don't want to seem like I am annoying you, but I'm truly passionate about helping people. And I just wanted to let you know, if you ever decide you're ready to chat about your goals again, that I am here for you, right? Letting people know you care and letting people know you are there when they decide they're ready. So this obviously is important, because this is how do we work on changing and creating new beliefs. So the first step in this is identifying limiting beliefs. And I feel like this takes self-awareness. And for me, it has to be this thing of like, if I keep hitting the same wall, or I keep hitting the same roadblock, or I keep having the same struggle, or I keep getting frustrated about the same thing, either it's the action that I'm taking that's not working, or there's a limiting belief there that I'm not looking at, right? So having the self-awareness to say, I keep saying I want something different and I keep doing the same thing. I keep telling myself I'm going to hit this goal and then I don't. Whatever that is, but identifying that limiting belief, because if we don't acknowledge them, we cannot change them. And personal development, obviously, go to. Self-help, I'm a big fan. I started going to therapy. I'm not afraid to talk about it. I started going to therapy a couple months ago because there is shit in my life, past traumas, past things that I need to work on healing, that I know are keeping me stuck in my life and in my business. And I'm willing to do the work to no longer let that be my story, right? Affirmations. I have a list of affirmations that I wrote out that I recite to myself and I say out loud every single morning, and it sounds woo-woo and crazy and it feels weird as hell when you first start doing it, but like, it's so powerful to like hear yourself saying these things to yourself over and over and over and over, that eventually you start to believe them, right? Versus that autopilot of habits or the thoughts and beliefs that we have that sometimes are not serving us. Having a no matter what attitude, meaning like trusting yourself and knowing that you will figure this out. Like, you've survived everything in life thus far. You've figured it out thus far. You've made it this far in your business, right? That no matter what, you can always figure things out. Everything is always figure outable. Mindset shift and beliefs of your business activities. So if there is a specific business activity that you're like, I hate doing this, this sucks for me, I feel like it never works for me, or when you sit down to your business to work it and you're like, you cringe when you get to this part of your business activity tracker, like figuring out what that belief is about it and shifting it into something more positive. Like, I'm really intimidated to invite people to coaching because no one ever is interested in what I'm doing. Into, I am fired up to find women who are going to love this opportunity the same way that I do, right? Finding a more positive belief about that business activity. Yeah, I love that. We do like you. Okay. Marathon versus sprint mentality. So I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I'm an Enneagram 3 primarily. I focus on crushing to-do lists and accomplishments and getting shit done. And when I am not keeping up to the pace or the speed that I like, I beat myself up about it. And that's one of my like hardest things to work through, right? So I think not just having this marathon versus a sprint mentality in your business, but having this marathon versus a sprint mentality in your own personal growth and overcoming these beliefs that you have and shifting them and seeing how those shift your thoughts and your emotions and your habits. Because sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves to figure it out right now. Why can't I figure this out right now? Why haven't I figured this out yet? Like, I've been doing it this long and I'm still doing the same thing, or I'm still hitting the same wall, or I still haven't hit the same goal, right? Like, having that marathon mindset of like, I am going to keep figuring it out and doing what it takes to have a shift so that I can move past whatever space this is, and I honor the pace that I go at. Because I think adding self-judgment on top of limiting beliefs is one of the biggest, like, awful feelings, right? Big heart, thick skin is one of my mantras that I always say. Amen. Yeah. Beating ourselves up about it sucks. Creating proof. So taking action in spite of a belief and creating a new belief with it. Like the things that I asked you at the very beginning of this call, where I said, what is a belief that you had? And what is a way that you've proved that that's not true for you anymore, is because you took action at that point in time. You took action despite failing with yo-yo diets. You took action despite not believing in network marketing. You took action despite not believing in shakes. You took action and believing all of these things, right? And you allowed yourself to create a new belief because you acted in spite of it. And this is like the same thing that we're going to rinse and repeat with all these other beliefs that we have of, I'm not worthy enough. I'm not good enough. I don't have enough time. I can't find people that want to join my team. Whatever that is, like, we have to keep acting in spite of that thing. And yes, some of them are going to be a lot more uncomfortable than others. But over time, we are creating proof that we can overcome and change that belief, right? So this is something to think about, and this is something I have had to learn how to adapt in my own, because I don't know if you guys, say for example, if you answered like a 1, 2, or 3 on one of those scales of where is your belief at about whatever, right? And so you're trying to create an affirmation that feels like a level 10, right? We're trying to jump 7 things here in one fell swoop, right? It's not going to work because your brain doesn't believe it. Like, it's very hard for you to go from a very, very limiting belief to a very like audacious, bold, brave, confident, like, I don't give a shit belief, right? Like, we have to kind of work our way up the scale of being a little bit more brave, a little bit more confident, a little bit more self-assured, a little bit more, I'll figure it out, right? Until we actually work our way up to progressing in that belief. So instead of kind of having, I would say, black or white beliefs of like, I can't find working coaches that want to join my team, right? And saying like, every day I'm connecting with women and I'm getting that much closer to finding women that are interested in what I'm doing, versus making the automatic opposite belief being like, every single day I find rock star coaches that want to join my team, because maybe you're not going to believe that yet. Like, you have to create a belief that is a little bit more believable for you so that you can slowly kind of chip your way up towards that most confident, most bold, most courageous belief that you actually want to have and live by. Does that make sense? It's kind of hard to explain. If you guys have ever read the Super Attractor by Gabby Bernstein, she has a scale of emotions in that book that I thought was so freaking fascinating, because it's kind of on the same lines of this like belief scale. Is like, if you're feeling super depressed and angry, you're not immediately going to try and shift into being happy and energized, right? Like, there's gonna be moving up to like feeling kind of moody or feeling kind of tired, or like moving up the scale until you eventually shift into that other feeling or other emotion. But like, they're all progress along the way to getting to where you're going, right? So trying on beliefs to see what feels leveled up from where you're at, but what feels good to you where you are right now, to adapt to that. Up leveling at your own pace. Who are you surrounding yourself by, and what are their beliefs? And I feel like, thankfully, we're lucky as coaches that we're surrounded by a lot of people who are fired up, excited, working to be consistent, have more confident, but we all also have our insecurities, our doubts, our struggles, whatever. But I like to think about it like this is protecting your energy, because when we are trying to up level in our belief and our habits and our mindsets and our lives and all of these things, right? Like there are a lot of things in this world that we cannot not expose ourselves to. Like there's a lot of heavy, ugly, awful stuff that really can suck the life and drain the energy out of us, right? That we have to be careful with what we can choose to entertain and absorb and acknowledge. Like, what are we entertaining? What are we surrounding ourselves by? What are we internalizing? What are we listening to? What are we reading? What kind of conversations are we having? And then the last one is just being coachable and getting out of your comfort zone, because I feel like I personally, even at this point in my business, here's an example. My therapist, every time I see her, she gives me homework at the end of my call. And I'm not used to having someone give me homework, right? Like I'm not used to having somebody be like, I'm holding you accountable to this. Like I hold myself accountable to a lot of things, but I don't necessarily have someone saying like, this is your homework to do and I'll see you in 2 weeks and then I'm going to ask you about it. And I'm like, oh shit. And guess what I do? The second I leave that appointment, I make the phone call, I do the exercise, whatever it is she's asked me to do, because I have that accountability. And sometimes it's not that you actually need the accountability as it is you need someone that's holding you accountable to pushing yourself the way that you want to push yourself. So that is going to be my suggestion for you, is that if I am your coach, or if whoever's Annalise is your coach, that if we offer you something as a suggestion, and by all means, if you want to offer suggestions back, I'm happy to take those. But when someone offers you a suggestion of saying, hey, this is what's worked for me, or this is what I've done, try it out for yourself. Or says like, here's an example. Ray and I had a really good conversation last week about Instagram stories and videos on Instagram. Because that's an area she's working to get out of her comfort zone, right? And she's working really hard to get out of her comfort zone over there. So kudos to that, because it used to be like fear of posting pictures, let alone videos. So she's kicking ass right now. But we were talking about like how to do videos. And I said, if you're uncomfortable actually like going live, record a video on your phone. That's what I've been doing mainly just for time purposes. Is recording a quick video on my phone and uploading it as an IGTV, or videoing yourself. Like, she took a video to story herself of what she spoke about on the Meet the Team, right? Something like that. So it's pushing out of her comfort zone, but in a way that is a little bit more above. It's not like she's busting out of the gates, like doing live videos every single day, right? But every single time she's doing something a little more out of her comfort zone, she's getting more confident and more comfortable and more brave in doing that. And I think that's such a big part of what we do in our businesses. And she talked her stories today. Yay! All right. I don't know how to get out of here. All right, that's all I got for you guys. I know it wasn't the fanciest slide, but I made one, so there's that. Does anyone have any thoughts, comments? Was this helpful? Do you feel like you're ready to go slay all your demons now that maybe you have more clarity of what they are?
Honestly, I think this is what everybody needed right now. And I really hope that people who aren't here tonight listen to this recording. And I think I just want to share this. Sorry, I just like bounced in here. But
Go for it.
the most powerful part about tonight to me was I was actually messaging with one of my coaches who couldn't be on here. She's newer and is really interested in this. And I said to her, the reason why I wanted you to be on tonight's call is because these are the type of calls and atmosphere and environment of what's changed my life truly in Team Beachbody and why I want you to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to share that aloud with everybody.
I love that. Because it's true. It's like we can work on the how do you invite, how do you follow up, how do you Instagram story, how do you post, all that stuff all day long. But if our beliefs, like I said, so eloquently, if our beliefs are jacked up, like we're not ever going to get to where we could potentially go. So I think it's important for us to be working about these things. And I think it's important for us to have the vulnerability in our team to feel comfortable talking about these things and letting it known that like you are not the only one that feels this shit. You are not the only one who faces roadblocks and gets stuck and feels unworthy and feels like you're failing or whatever. Like we all feel those things, and the more that we talk about them, the less power they have, and the more it's like it gives you the ability to say like every single woman deals with these things. Like I'm not the only one. I'm not in this boat alone, sitting here in my sulk of limiting beliefs, feeling like I can't change anything. Like we all deal with that shit. And I think it's powerful to come together and talk about it, and kind of let those go and hold each other accountable to really working on moving through them. So I will let you guys go because it is 9:44 and I talked for far too long. We'll see you next Wednesday for our Meet the Team event.
Wait
Bye,
a minute,
everybody.
quick picture.
Oh,
I didn't
boomerang.
take a picture yet.
Go for it.
Good work, Dana. That was great.
Thanks.
Oops, let me hold on. I gotta get my act together here. Okay.
Bye, ladies.